Hi, so in this video, my friend Defnie and I will explain to you a bit of survival tips in a little scenario where, let's imagine, your uncle who's supposedly he's very rich and he invited you to somewhere to a leisure, somewhere in an island in Sweden, a tropical island, far from the city life, to get some fresh air and in a place where that's at least what your uncle told you. There are beautiful white sand beaches there, beautiful corals, and he said it would have been a really nice change of pace from the city life. So of course your family and you agreed to that, since there's nothing wrong with it. Why not? But after some plane ride, and then you drive, and then finally you board on the nice small boat, but more so on the bumpy side, as amount of tourists that came to the island can be counted by fingers. It was kind of shady, you know. Anyways, an hour in the boat ride, you realized the weather wasn't great. It was not nice. Practically a storm. And you were outside, but when you tried to get in, you you just sort of went flying and yeah, more precisely, you have fallen out of the boat. And you realize that your uncle, your dad, or whatever, your whole family doesn't know. They're clueless, they don't know that you have fallen out. And with that, you free fall to the unswimmable waters due to the waves caused by the storm. Now you're on the sea, floating, and not long you feel suffocated and you thought, oh, this is how I'm gonna die, I guess. And then your vision darkens, and but after a while, you were able to open your eyes. You wake up. You can see the sunlight shining at you, and the good news is that you're somehow alive. You're breathing, and you're not in the afterlife just yet. But bad news, you're stuck in an island, but not the slightest idea where you are, and you're very much stranded in a deserted island. So, after a couple of minutes looking around, you can deduce a few things. The island doesn't seem to be inhabited. So, an inhabited island where no one is around and you are the only one who's washed away. Also, there's no signs of people. There are no type of buildings, no boats, no campfires, no nothing. And all you can see are trees and the forests in front of you. And venturing in and searching for hours in it is not that worth it, of course. So, and then you start thinking, how can I survive in this situation? How am I supposed to survive? So, after realizing you are deserted on an island and deducing the situation you are in, you need to use this mnemonic device of the Boy Scouts. As in, stop. S stands for stop, T stands for thing, O stands for observe, and B stands for plan. You need to plan whatever you need to do in order to survive in the situation. Condition, you need to plan what you need to do to ensure your survival. Do not panic. No, remember this, do not panic in that kind of condition. It will just waste your limited time you have before the cold night hits you. And that sunlight stuff, you need to plan and do as much as possible before it, the dangerous, very, very much cold night hits you. So, in the plan, first, foremost, in that plan, you should check your body for injuries first. All the others can get wait. All the other things can wait if you have an injury on the way into the island. You know, because the injuries can cause really bad condition on you. So if the injuries are infected by some microbes, you have no access at all for medications, and it will detect the percentage of your living hopes. So, or it might attract predators along the way, so it will also detect your possibility of surviving. So, if you got a cut, hold the size of the wound as close as you can together, and then wrap it with a piece of clean cloth. You just rip it off from your clothes, I guess. And if the wound is severe, keep lying on the ground, keeping the injured limb above the heart level to ensure the best blood circulation, and then you wrap it with a cloth. To get rid of shock, your body is of course also in a shock as much as you are. So you need to keep calm and lie down in a warm place under the warm sun for a while. Just stop your body from panic attack. Second, salvage. Salvage all you can. A jacket that's washed up or the laces from your shoes. Although if you have no supplies, don't worry. You can count on your creativity and resilience. Most often, every needed thing for survival, from coconuts on coconut trees to water and food on land in the sea nearby, you can obtain on a desert island. Just obtain anything that you can take. Basically, rules of survival, salvage. Third, find water. I don't think dehydration is a good idea for survival in a desert island. So you need to find water as fast as you can. Finding a source of clean drinkable water should be very much a priority. The body cannot live without liquids for more than 3 to 4 days. However, it can live up to like 3 weeks without food. So you need to find clean, neutral pH drinkable water as quick as you can. Because drinking salt water is a big no-no. There's a no way out. So you need to find another source so you can be content and healthy. First option is rainwater. You can use any container that you can find and then set them to catch any rainwater that falls out and boil the water to avoid getting indigestion and poisoning. But if the rain doesn't come, it's gonna be a very much problem. So you need to scan the desert island for lakes and rivers. If the island is pretty much large enough, there's a possibility to find streams and waterfalls to provide drinking fresh water. And fourth, build or find a shelter. Finding a shelter is an essential, necessary aspect of survival. After drinking of thirst, just don't binge drink. You need to save up some so you can survive for days. There's a high chance you would die from the cold night or rain. So it is very, very important to find a place to rest while protecting yourself from the scary elements, that could kill you, most probably. So here's how to create a lean-to shelter for short term. Step 1, find a large branch and lean one end to a tree. And place smaller branches at 45-degree angles along the length of the large branch. Third, and last, just cover the entire structure with leaves and such. But if you are thinking and you're worried, oh no, it's probably gonna be a long-term one, you need to create a more permanent one, a stronger one, a tougher one, so it can protect you. You can create the teepee. Step 1, gather the branches. Gather every branches you can take, And then step 2, stick 3 of these branches, the big ones, into the ground to create a tripod, And the third, you position the remaining branches around the tripod in a circle. Be sure to leave an area free for your entrance. And fourth, find the largest leaves and brush that you can find to use as a cover. That's basically the simplest way you can make a shelter. For the next steps, Defnie will explain for you.
The fifth step of your plan is of course to make fire. You need a fire to boil water, to keep yourself warm, and many other things. There is a few methods of course, like the first is the most primitive and also difficult, which is the hand drill. Hold the rod or the stick vertically between both hands and move these back and forth in opposite directions, as in like you're rubbing them. The rod typically is 1 or 2 feet long and half an inch in diameter. Second method is the fire plow method. Step 1 is find a soft wood and cut a groove on its base. Step 2 is place some tinder at one end that you will ignite. Step 3, using a hot stick, blow the end up down this groove to create friction. Step 4, the tinder will begin to smolder. Blow on it to help fuel the fire catching process. Step 5, when the fire catches, place other small twigs on top to help it grow. Of course, the third one, which is the bow drill method and the most effective, is step 1, just to get a socket. The socket can be a stone or another piece of wood. Step 2 is to make your bow. The bow should be about as long as your arm. Step 3 is prepare the fireboard. Step 4, string up the spindle. Catch the spindle in the loop of the bowstring. Place one end of the spindle on the fireboard and apply pressure on the other end with your socket. Step 5 is to start sewing. Using your bow, start sewing back and forth, creating a drill. Make your fire. Drop the ember into the tinder nest and blow on it gently. Done. 6 is, of course, to find your food. If you don't have a pack of canned food at hand, your best source is probably fish. Surrounding water should be shallow enough to walk around and look for fish. To catch the fish, of course, the most straightforward technique is to use spear fishing. Create a long spear from one of the branches you find on the island. Make the tip as sharp as long as possible. And be sure the stick is, good enough to throw and has some weight. If you can stand on rocks, that would be even better, since it will be less likely for you to alarm the fish, and you'll be able to find them easily when they were snacking on seaweed or whatever else they find interesting in the ocean. If you must walk on the waters, then move slowly as not to startle them. Hold the spear at your side above the water. When the fish stops and settles in one place, just quickly extend your arm and throw a spear, aiming for the fish's head. With enough practice, you'll be hitting your target with great precision. To pay attention also, food preparation and storage. You may not know for how long you'll have to stay in a deserted island, but food storage is the way to go if you want to survive for as long as possible. Nutritious meals can be stored for the future. It will give you some rest and satisfy your hunger handily when you might need or to fail on the hunt one day. Collect coconuts, edible berries, and mushrooms if you're 100% sure they are edible, and store them dried for a long time. Try to prepare meat and not to eat it raw to avoid health issues. Skin the animal's body, get rid of the fur, and take out all internal organs to prevent your well-being risk. Livers and hearts will be beneficial in terms of nutrition. Roast or boil it, smoke it, fry it, and you will catch no disease and have the source of nutrition to keep you content and full. While you are at it, beware of predators. For protection, fashion a spear, longbow, or a knife if you are lucky from any branches that you can find lying around. In the ocean, your primary concern would probably be sharks' attacks. While you're spear fishing in the sea, try to stay in shallow water whenever possible. While on land, on the beach, or in the woods, keep the fire alive. It will ensure the wild beasts are staying away from your campsite. Ensure that the flame burns through the night, as in this time of day, some predators are most active. A desert island can hide various predators. Unless you have weapons on your side, it is very hard to keep safe. The best idea is to avoid close contact with wild beasts and make your shelter as safe as possible. Without special materials or traps, your survival is at risk. So I would recommend to put some traps or put some special materials to keep the beasts of the forest away. You need to have some skills to fashion tools and weapons for your defense. So first consider fortifying your living space to have a chance to rest and at least sleep safely. Okay, you have done everything that should help you survive the night. Now try to get rescued. The fire started will be one signal, but you need more. To increase the odds of you being noticed, you should consider creating an SOS message on the sand and make it as visible as possible. To do this, find large TU badges to spell the letter SOS to be seen from aircraft flying overboard. Trying to attract attention by creating a distress sign on a beach most visible part can be a good source of positive activity. It incorporates hopefulness, creativity, and keep your body and mind busy and concentrated while rescued. Most importantly, for long-term survival, try to keep active and sane. Being alone can really make a person go insane. So it's important during your stay you maintain your sanity. Keeping your mind bright and your body active is the critical activity to focus on, to survive until the rescue, whenever it is, comes. Stay collected and keep yourself busy. But of course, don't forget to relax. Relaxation is crucial in terms of regaining physical and of course mental strength, refreshing your mind and body. If you have the opportunity, train your language skill. Write something down, sing to yourself, anything that helps you abstract from the situation and give yourself some positive kicks. Don't force yourself into non-stop labor. Make pauses through it. Don't blame yourself and think yourself as incapable of surviving. It will not help you at all. You'd better focus on your plan. Next is to stay alert for as long as you can. Embrace positive thinking. It will also increase the odds to hit the world news or bestseller book as a person who has survived on a deserted island. Try to entertain yourself. Sing, dance, it can help a lot maintain a good mental state. That's all you can do to ensure your survival at the deserted island. Be safe and thank you.